Welcome back to the show. Now, if you are as excited as I am, then I know that your pad is completely filled with this great advice Mr. Ellis Liddell is giving us. But now, I know for some of you it may have been a bit to consume, but for those of us who are desperate, I think we're taking it all in. we really are. We all want to get out of this doing very, very well. You told us about the budget.
Right.
How important it is just to pay yourself first. Something we've always known, and there's some pastors out there saying, wait a minute, what do you mean? 10% comes to the church first.
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? With 401ks today, you actually can pay yourself first before you even pay taxes or the government or tithe.
And then there are benefits for paying yourself first through 401k.
Absolutely, especially when it's time to retire. Now, a lot of people say, but my job doesn't offer 401k. Then you can start a self-directed IRA if you're a contract employee. If you're just an employee and the plan doesn't offer it, then you can do an IRA, an individual retirement account, either a Roth or a traditional. But the most important thing you could do is get a financial advisor. How do you pick a good financial advisor? It should be somebody who you enjoy spending time with. Somebody who you wouldn't mind having at your kitchen table and they wouldn't mind having you at theirs. I always say that because it could be the other way around.
You know there are folks going around here call themselves financial advisors. They've got P.O. boxes.
I know it.
They don't have offices, and and there are the people who are vulnerable and they don't know that just doesn't jive.
Yeah, if they don't have an office that you can go visit, and that should tell you a lot. Mm-hmm. If they say, let me go out to my car, you can come sit with me in the office. It tells you a whole lot.
So you get a financial advisor.
Get an advisor, and you want to get somebody who you feel very comfortable with. I give a resume out every time, a 25-point questionnaire, every time a client comes, and I say to them, I'm applying for a job as your advisor. There's a couple things you don't mess with, people's money and their honey. You got to be qualified to touch either one of those two things, right?
That's true.
Usually you have to have an MD behind your name to touch somebody else's wife. And to touch their money, you might want to have some kind of financial licenses or securities license behind you. So that would be the first step, because you need somebody to help you through this process, to help you through it. Because, no, it's not that simple. If it was that simple, everybody would be very successful and everybody would live in the biggest house on the block. Not the case. And some people are looking today saying, but I don't want the biggest house on the block. Well, that's okay, as long as you get you a house.
Absolutely. Oh, but it's so wonderful being able to choose to have that option.
To have the option.
And because there are too many people who don't have that option, who certainly have earned enough in their lifetimes to have several options. No doubt about it. Don Barden said something. I was interviewing him once, and this will stick with me as long as I live. You become wealthy when your money works for you while you sleep.
There you go, while you're sleeping. And that's the concept behind investing, behind saving, is that you're putting the money away and that money is working. The pennies that it earns each day are the little penny babies working, everything is working on your behalf. And, time value of money. Over a period of time, the value of money is going to increase. Give it the time to do it. The market's going to go up and down. It has to go up and down. Here's the reason. If you just got a settlement for $10 million and the market is sky high, are you going to buy in the market when it's sky high, but if it dips down, you're willing to put your money into the market? So if it never does the ebb and flow, new people never come into it.
I'm looking for a fire sale.
And you know what? People are interesting because they'll say, Google's at $685. I better buy it. Then Google goes down to $437. They say, I'm going to wait. If you went and saw that dress, it was selling for $1,000, and it was on sale for $200, and you wanted it when it was $1,000, wouldn't you buy it?
I'm walking out with it.
Exactly. You're not going to say, something wrong with that one. I'm going to wait till it go back up. But that's the mentality that many people have as it relates to investing. So if you're not good at it, get somebody who is good at it, and you work together, but let them be an education type advisor who teaches you, willing to tell you why they chose to do the things that they're doing.
You know something? I'll tell you something. You did a piece one time on Black Wall Street talking about possibilities and dreaming about what one can attain in one's life financially. After listening and reading that story, and certainly want to encourage all of our listeners to Google Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right.
And, it's just truly unbelievable, and it would put most of us to shame for what we aren't doing with all that we have with us. We're almost out of time. The number, and we're going to have it on the screen for people who are interested in getting more information.
Right.
And we'll give you more when we come back too. But that number is 248-356-6555. That's 248-356-6555. That's the number to ELE Wealth Management. And of course, you can log on to www.elefamily.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. Now, after today, folks, there are no excuses, right, Ellis Liddell?
None.
Absolutely no excuses. You know what? I want to invite you to do an Ellis, I'm sure you advise as people do this all the time, and that is if you're planning on meeting with someone, first of all, know that you can't do it. It's like it's like needing brain surgery and choosing to fool around with somebody you know who's never been to medical school or trying to do it yourself. It just doesn't work. You've got to get a professional to help you get started. Certainly, I recommend my own financial advisor, Mr. Ellis Liddell.
Well,
but if there's someone else you are considering, they should Google that person.
Google that person, see what comes up. If absolutely nothing comes up, that tells you you're probably dealing with someone who's just getting started in their career.
Every month, ELE Wealth Management seminars, they are free of charge. In fact, we're going to begin having a community bulletin board on Gaddis and Guest so people will know when your seminars are. But if you listen to me on News Talk 1200 WCHB, you'll find out monthly when those seminars are. They're always held at the Southfield Westin Hotel at 6 p.m., generally the last Thursday in the month, but you need to call for and make your reservation. Again, free of charge. You get a wealth of information. 248-356-6555. And the final directive you want to give our viewers today?
I think that everyone's got to remember that wealth is your legacy. Pass it on. I think you've got to realize that there's more to it than just you.
When you leave here,
you're going to leave somebody behind, either broke and poor or well off and on the right direction.
And now you can get started. Call that number 248-356-6555. And don't forget, join me Monday through Friday on News Talk 1200 WCHB. I'm hosting Inside Detroit from 6 to 10. And if it's happening in Detroit or anywhere, specifically in the nation, anywhere in this nation, we're talking about it. Don't miss it during Morning Drive. I'm Mildred Gaddis. We'll see you next Saturday.